The 10 Essential Elements for Smart Language Learning. This is the title of the book that I released last week, and let me tell you, the response has been amazing. Hundreds of people have bought the book, and I'm so glad for all the responses, for all the positive reactions and the kind words. So thank you for that. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you about two things. First, how this book came about, and second, the two biggest lessons I've learned about language learning from writing this book. So, like any other big project, writing a book takes time, takes energy, and you need peace of mind and continuity to make it happen. And the problem is that a lot of things happen in these months, like health issues, relationship ordeals, never-ending bathroom renovations, and everything in between. So that kind of slowed me down. But I think that the thing that slowed me down the most was the fact that we initially, and by we, I mean my team and I, we came up with a different book. And the reason why we had to scratch that and start all over again was because this book did not feel like something personal. Sure, it was jam-packed with a lot of strategies, a lot of tactics, a lot of tips and tricks, but at the end of the day, it was not personal, it was not emotional. And so we scratched that and we started all over again. But the point I want to make here is that when you tackle such a big project and you set a deadline for yourself, and then you tell yourself, I have to do this, I have to commit to it, I have to make it happen, then if you stick to your guns, then beautiful things happen. And that's exactly how the whole thing panned out. Now let's talk about the two biggest lessons about language learning that I've learned from writing this book. The first one is about feeling the language versus just learning it. You have to learn a language with your heart, not just with your brain. And what I mean by that is that you have to fall in love with the language. You have to fall in love with the world behind it, the culture. You have to see a purpose. You have to see your motive. You have to see reasons why you're learning a language. Because you can learn all the strategies in the world, all the effective methods of these polyglots that are here on YouTube and on the internet in general. But if you don't fall in love with the language, if you don't fall in love with the process of learning a language, then you're not bound to do it day in and day out. You have to learn a language for a long time if you want to speak it fluently. So remember that you have to feel a language, you have to feel profound emotions towards the language if you want to make it happen every single day. The second lesson I've learned is that psychology plays a gigantic role in language learning. Your mindset plays a gigantic role. I'm pretty sure that no matter where you come from, you've never heard about the role of psychology in language learning. In school, we tend to learn techniques, strategies, how to learn vocabulary, how to learn grammar, and everything in between. But people don't talk about mindset. And mindset is the set of beliefs that you hold and entertain towards yourself, towards the language, towards its native speakers, and everything in between. And come to think of it, a lot of people, and this comes from my own experience as a coach, have these limiting beliefs. Things like, I'm not good enough. My memory is bad, I cannot learn vocabulary, I'm not even sure if I can learn this language. People doubt themselves, but these limiting beliefs are false. They come from hearsay, they come from your environment. Since you were a little kid, you kept hearing these things. Maybe from your teachers, from your schoolmates, from your family members, and the emotional part of your brain believes them. And what is really holding you back from learning a language is not a lack of techniques. It's not a lack of techniques and strategies on how to learn vocabulary or grammar and whatnot. It's these limiting beliefs. If you learn how to transform these limiting beliefs into liberating truths, and trust me, you can, then there is no stopping you from learning any language that you want. How do I know all this? It's because I felt it too. 30 years ago, when I started learning English, I felt like I was useless. I felt like I would never, ever learn English. Because I was at school and I was trying to learn English with and through the traditional methods, and to no avail. And my English teacher was telling me that I was not cut for this. And I remember one day I started watching a movie. And that movie was Back to the Future 1. I had seen the movie multiple times, thousands of times in Italian, because I loved it. And I started watching it with a sense of hope that finally maybe I could understand something, that all those 2 years I had spent at school learning English were, useful. And I realized that I did not understand much. And that was an important moment because I felt really inside the desperation, the frustration. I thought, I'm never going to learn English. I'm not good at this. But I think that that moment was pivotal because deep inside, when I touched rock bottom, I just found the mental resources and the mentality, the mindset to say, okay, but maybe this is not true. And, the magic, sometimes, magic hits in your life. And my parents hired a tutor, an American tutor. And from there, I started learning English in a different way. And I started learning it well. And after starting, learning English in a brain-friendly way, I just learned a lot of other languages. So my transformation from timid speaker to confident speaker and polyglot happened because of a change of mindset. So with time, with strategies, with effective techniques, I overcame these limiting beliefs. I started believing in myself. I started believing that I could learn any language. But while I overcame my own limiting beliefs, I had to overcome another person's limiting beliefs, my father. You see, my father was a mathematician and an engineer, and he wanted me to follow his steps. He kept telling me that, in order to make ends meet, you have to pursue a scientific career. And I told him, Dad, I want to learn languages. And he said, well, you can learn languages, but you can learn languages on the side while you follow lectures at university and you get your degree in engineering. And that's what I did. So for years, I was at university and I was learning mathematics, engineering, and whatnot. But at the end of the day, after getting my degree, I was thinking, this is not for me. My heart was not beating for engineering or physics or mathematics. My heart was beating for language learning. My father was a little bit disappointed, but fast forward to many years later, I gave an interview on national Italian radio, and I said something out of thin air: you cannot be taught a language. Nobody can teach you a language. You have to learn it by yourself. And you know what? I came back home that afternoon, and my father looked at me in the eyes, and there was a different gaze, there was a different light to them. And he said, well done, I love the interview. And then and there it hit me. I had my father's approval. After so many years, my father had finally understood that my heart was beating for language learning. I talk about all this and more in the book that I've just released. And let me tell you something, it was not easy. It was actually quite difficult for me to share my vulnerabilities, my struggles, and my doubts. But I think it's well worth it. I think that when you share secrets that you think you should never confess to the rest of the world, and that you hold close to your chest, I think these are the things that people actually relate to the most. And I think that at the end of the day, if you want to get rewards, you have to take risks. This is exactly how it works in language learning as well. You have to take risks. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to try new things. And you start molding your insecurities into something powerful, because you have the potential of learning any language. You have the potential of learning anything. You just have to tap into your own potential. Now, the last thing I wanted to tell you is that going through this book is just going through an experience in and of itself. The book is in digital format, so you can read it, but you can also listen to the audiobook that I recorded in a recording studio in Rome. You can listen and read at the same time, and you can even watch some very cool interviews that I made with my friend and colleague Alex. We had a lot of fun. Alex knows how to ask questions, and we went through other live episodes and other interesting experiences that we both had related to language learning. So this is it in a nutshell. I wanted to thank you for all those who've bought the book and left such nice reviews and nice comments. And for those who haven't bought yet, if you haven't bought it yet, all you need to do is to click on the link in the description box or in the comment that I pinned in the comment section. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching, and happy language learning.